Namaste, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Unicorns podcast with me, Dr. Ashwini Chube. I'm so thrilled and excited to once again be here with you. And what could be better than this beautiful month of December, which is officially end of another year and such a beautiful time, right? And today we are going to talk about something which is a ritual I have been following for the past few years. Thanks to my teachers, mentors, I've been doing it on myself and I've been also sharing about this powerful date of 12/12. Yes, we are going to talk about the closings and the new beginnings. There are certain moments in the year where the universe is quietly opening a doorway. And that doorway is not outside of us, but it is inside of us. Have you experienced that certain days are very heavy, certain days are very light, and certain days just bring in transformations? If you are energy sensitive, I'm sure you must have experienced this. I have been personally experiencing a lot of this. And to go back, I can tell you, I remember in the year 1988 when I was very young, I was in school. And I remember on 8 August 1988, I told my mom, Mama, today's date is 8888. And she was like, oh, yes, it is. And I was so happy on that day that in school I was telling all my friends that today is 8888. I remember another girl from my school. I was not very good friends with her, but she and I used to sit together. And I was so excited at that time. I told her that today is 8888. And she said, it's okay. I said, no, write it in your book because this date is not going to come soon. She said, I will write next year. I said, next year it will not be 8888. No one really understood what I was talking about, but that episode is still etched in my memory. And today, when I look at these powerful dates, they bring in a certain kind of magic. And especially when it comes to 12/12, it is one of those moments because it's a portal, it's not just a date. Remember, I just spoke to you a few minutes ago that a few dates, the universe opens quietly a doorway, not outside of you, but inside of you. So 12/12 is not just a date, it's a cosmic checkpoint, a spiritual reset, a soul level invitation for each and every one of you to not just release, but also to realign and to rise. From December 12th, that is on 12/12, to December 31st, we enter one of those potent energetic windows of the entire year. What is the potent energetic window? The time where astrology, numerology, collective consciousness all align for a deep closure of what doesn't serve you anymore and reopening for new opportunities. It is not random, it is not just symbolic, it's energetic law in motion. Because mentally, we are shutting and closing down a lot of old things and we are opening a lot of new things. Tell me how many of us have seen that as soon as we start in the new year, and imagine you're writing a check. Okay, I know many of us do not use check system. We have all moved to internet banking and using UPI and credit cards. But if you are among those people who writes a check, it happens so many times that in the first month in January, you still write 2025 instead of 2026. Has it happened to you? It happens with me all the time, almost till the month of February. And that is because mentally we have still not shut the old year. We are still somewhere going in that. But officially on paper, the new year has begun. So it takes a while to change the energetics from the old year to the new year. And hence the entire month of December is about preparing for something new which is to come and closing what is old. Imagine you are moving, shifting to a bigger house. We just shifted into a few years ago, 4 years ago. Oh my God, it's been 4 years. We shifted into a new house. And when we were shifting into the new house, we closed everything with reference to what it was in the old house. We threw away all the items which we did not want to take it into the new house. We released a lot of stuff which was not serving us anymore. And we got in new. The last 2 months of moving from the old house to the new house was what was I call as the time of physical upgrade, where we were releasing the old stuff. We also threw away a lot of old clothes. We donated a lot of few items. We gave away a lot of things to, maybe the help and staff in our house. And when we entered the new house, I remember we rearranged a lot of stuff and we also bought in a lot of new stuff. But imagine if we would have carried all the old stuff which we gave away from the old house to the new, would we have space to make a new wardrobe? Would we have space to create a new life for us? No. And you know what happens when you let go and release of all the old, you also create space for the new which is coming in. Consider 12/12 to be that date, officially that date, when you are going to start releasing the old and you're going to start bringing in the new. So let's first talk about numerology. Okay, what does the number 12 indicate? In numerology, the number 12 is the vibration of completion, integration, also 12 because when you add 1 plus 2, it becomes 3, which is the number of Jupiter. It talks about higher wisdom. It talks about any kind of lessons and learning. Jupiter is Brihaspati, the guru, who is considered as the master, the teacher, right? So it's all about your soul lessons. It's all about your soul evolution, higher wisdom, a higher knowledge, connecting to the divine. That is what the number 12 is about. So technically, number 12 says that, okay, you learned the lesson now, you must release the weight and you are ready to go to the next level. And when the number 12 repeats, when it is 12/12, the energy doubles. You know what happened in 2012? Our teacher Diana Cooper talks about how 2012 was the start of where the whole frequency of the earth started changing from the 3D dense frequency of fear and linear thinking to a higher frequency. In 2012, all the process started, and in the next 20 years, till 2032, Earth is going through the transformation. You all must have already experienced that. So when 12 repeats as 12/12, the energy doubles, right? Which means old cycles are closing, old themes are getting over, higher wisdom is coming, and emotional patterns which you are outgrown are now coming to release. Now, this is very important because, we, all of us, for a long time, have been stuck in what we call as the fear-based identities. And from the fear-based identities and the limiting beliefs which kept you stuck, you are now moving to a more wisdom based identity, to more awareness, to more possibilities, to more. I always use the word magic, and people say that, Ashwini, why do you keep using the word magic? Do you mean magic by, the Harry Potter wand? And, I've been a Harry Potter fan. But for me, magic is when you start creating your life through your thoughts. Your thoughts are very powerful. And when you create thoughts, when you create your reality based on your thoughts, that is when the magic starts to view in. And we all are here to create magic, right? So this number 12 is asking only one thing from you. What are you finally willing to let go so that you can tune into the higher wisdom of the new year? Now let us look at the astrological meaning of close of the year. December is the last month of the year. Hence, December carries the energy of endings, also the energy of spiritual maturity, because on 21st of December, the sun will step into Capricorn. Okay, now if you if you see 21 is opposite of 12, opposite in the sense 2 and 1 again. So from 12th December to 21st December is a period when you can start making the closing cycles. And from 21st December, which is also the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, the shortest day and the longest night of the year, it is the time when sun will enter Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is a very wise, very, I always say it's a very old soul zodiac sign, because Capricorn is the sun sign is the only sign where half of the people born under Capricorn will be in 1 year and the rest of them will be born in the next year. So it's a very powerful sign of transition and transformation. And if you have had any Capricorn people in your life, you know that these are one of the most wisest and the smartest people. I've always seen Capricorns as really wise and smart people. They are also very deep people. So I think when the sun moves from Sagittarius, of course, Sagittarius is the zodiac sign of Jupiter, and from there, Capricorn is the zodiac sign of Saturn. Both these planets are very deep planets, Jupiter and Saturn, very deep planets. So when Sun moves into Capricorn, it's also a sign that you are moving into deeper aspects of life and you are meant to just. Saturn is all about karma and closing karmic cycles. And if you look at Jupiter and Saturn together, it's a beautiful time where both the planets are all about in depth clearing of, karmic cycles. So astrologically, this time is where there are soul contracts dissolving. Once I heard in one of the classes where they say that when the year ends, many of us are also closing our soul contracts for the year. In the astral planes, usually when we go to sleep, okay, so when we go to sleep, we are not just, not just that we are lying down and sleeping. We are connecting to the higher dimensions in our sleep. Now, what is actually happening is when you are sleeping, you are connecting to your ascended masters, to your spiritual guides, and there is a lot of work happening. Especially if you are on this path of spiritual journey, there is a lot of deep, intense work happening when you are in your sleep. And at that time, you are also renewing your contracts. You're talking about your soul contracts. You are talking about what things is that you want to release and what are the things you want to take it to the next year. I always say that it's a mini rebirth every night when you go to sleep and when you wake up in the morning. So this is the time astrologically that we are energetically moving from who we were to who we are becoming. So 1212 portal becomes a beautiful gate for this transition because until December 31st, the universe is, in what we call as a completion mode, WIP process, which means old wounds might resurface, unfinished emotions may just pop up, or, you may just, people may return unexpectedly, memories may get triggered. Sometimes fatigue also shows up. How many of us have been, since the last few weeks? I know I have been doing some classes, and in one of my classes, there was a week when all the students were going through something. Someone was sick, someone was really had issues at work, someone had issues at home, someone had issues with a family member falling sick. There was so much going on with that group. And, I told them that, no matter what, hang on, we have to finish whatever we are studying. And by the end of the fifth week, the students said that, all those things came up, but because of the tools they were given, they could handle it with more ease. And they all completed the course. Yes, my students have been really brave, and I just say that I'm so proud of them. If you are one of my students, if you're listening, and if you know what I'm talking, all my heart to you, all my love to you, and you've shown some great courage in this year. So a lot of times fatigue shows up, anxiety may increase. Now, all these things are indicator that these things are coming up to you for release. But if you do not have the tools, you will think, oh God, what's actually happening? Why are these things happening? When you have the tools, you say, okay, I know this is happening, I know how to handle, and you work towards it. So people sometimes feel restless and they take things very, people normalize a lot of things. So I know a lot of people who say that I'm feeling low and they just don't do anything about it. And that feeling low keeps happening every day, day after day. And then one fine day they just say that, I'm not feeling good about anything in life and I feel very sad. And but that's because you're not able to release those things. If you had the right tools, you could release that. So this is not regression. So don't think that you're going back and you're going down. No, it is just energetic purging where you are releasing a lot of it and your nervous system is trying to empty yourself, empty itself of everything it cannot carry into the next year. So do not worry, do not panic. Just know that you are ready for something more. But now many people ask me this question, Ashwini, letting go nahi karna hai, yaar. I don't want to let go. Why should I let go? Now, by letting go, many people think that letting go is just throwing things away. No, letting go is actually releasing fear. For example, when I tell about manifestation, when I run manifestation workshops, I think that's what most people know me as. Ashwini Chube is the manifestation with the manifestation workshop. So I always tell people, don't let go the desire to have something, let go of the fear that you cannot have. This is a very powerful statement because once you let go of the fear, you will know that things will happen to you with so much ease and they just come to you. So, letting go is not just emotional, it's a very neurological thing. Why neurological? because you're programming your mind to do something and your mind is moving into that. Your brain is being reprogrammed for you to let go something so that something new can come up. Letting go is also energetic. I always tell this that, because I work as someone who works with the mind through tools like NLP and subconscious reprogramming. I also work with the emotions and I also work with, spiritual. So I work with all three aspects: mind, spirit, and um, mind, emotions, and spirit. And of course, physically too, because physically we are talking, we are doing this stuff, we are writing affirmations, we are writing journaling. So things are happening at a lot of things are happening at all the levels. Now, many times when you are only in talk therapy or cognitive therapy, you may not get 100% results because you're only working on the talks and on the cognitive aspect of it. But energetically, you're not doing the work. Every work requires a combination of cognitive, energetic, and both the things are very much necessary, right? So, when we are doing this, biologically, we are also releasing cellular memory. What is at the cellular level? Energy. When you are changing that at a cellular level, you are changing the cellular memory and you are creating new way for new outcomes. Also, please understand, if you're someone who is struggling to let go, okay, you're not struggling because you are weak. You are not weak. You are struggling because your identity is somewhere wired to your pain. Your nervous system associates familiarity with safety, hence you keep repeating the difficult patterns again and again. You confuse attachment with love. Many people say that, having a partner means you have love. But what is important is what kind of relation you have with that partner, right? It's very important to have a partner with whom you have a secure attachment relationship. If you have too much anxious attachment or avoidant attachment, it's not going to go there. Anyway, I'm not going to go much into the technical aspects of it, but many times we also confuse suffering with strength. What do I mean by confusing suffering with strength? Many times people say, I'm very strong, and they continue suffering. They don't ask for help. They don't try to solve their problem. They keep on suffering. But the truth is, strength lies in letting go. Strength is not lying in suffering. For example, if you are in a toxic job or you are in a toxic relationship where every day you're suffering, don't carry on because you are strong. That is actually being foolish. Step out. I know it can be very difficult to step out, and that's what we are talking about today. Just let go of that. And, once you let go, you understand you have so much freedom. Also, we fear the unknown more than the unhealthy. I know a lot of people who are in unhealthy relationships. I know recently I met someone, and an elderly lady whose daughter was going through a very turbulent, very abusive marriage. And she said that, I told my daughter, don't leave him because you will then have a loveless life. And I said, actually, she's now having a loveless life because there were days where she used to even get beaten up and still she was living in that marriage. And she was going through a very difficult time. And the mother said that don't leave that person because otherwise you will be alone and loveless rest of the life. Because people always identify love with having a relationship, not about the quality of the relationship. And post COVID, post the pandemic, with the new generation coming in, people have started exiting toxic relationships. And once you release, exit that toxic relationship, maybe the relationship which is truly good for you might be there for you. And of course, there are some people who are in beautiful relationships. You can also make the relationship even better. But understand the difference between suffering versus strength. Please understand, suffering is not strength. Okay. Same applies to when you are in toxic work, toxic jobs or toxic careers. And it's better to move out than and let go than to be stuck there. I know it's not very easy and it's not an overnight process, nor am I telling you to immediately, leave that job or immediately leave that person. But when you understand who you truly are and what you need to let go in order to have a healthy and a happy life, that is what matters. So people hold on even when they are hurting, people hold on even when it is draining. But 12 is gently telling you, is whispering in your ears that you don't have to carry this into the new year. You don't have to be in this version forever. Sometimes letting go is letting go the old version of you. For example, if you are excessive people pleaser, excessively tolerant, and if you are taking so much nonsense from everyone, you may need to let go of your own version, which believes that you have to just tolerate and you can maybe just come into your power. So all you need to do is let go of that version of you who believed in that. So what do you release typically on 12/12? 12/12 is the place where you release a lot of negative things within you, like guilt, shame, self-blame. I think guilt, shame, self-blame are something which keep us down throughout. Guilt and shame are two controlling mechanisms of this reality. People will guilt trip you and shame you so that you start hating yourself, you start judging yourself, you start going in the wrongness of you, and you start really thinking that am bad, I'm bad. What if none of us need to improve? What if we just need to align to who we truly are? Also, a lot of times we are carrying past betrayals and heartbreaks. Maybe you had something which went on wrong in your life, which was not good, and that happened 5 years ago, but you are still holding on to those patterns. I also know people who are repeating patterns, something which happened in college. Maybe there was a relationship which did not work out when you were 18, and there is so much pain now that you are carrying the same pain in your marriage, whereas the partner with whom you are married to, you and that person have a total different dynamic, but because you're still carrying on the hurt of that relationship, your relationship is not working well. So we release a lot of guilt, shame, self-blame, past betrayals and heartbreaks which we are still holding on to our system. We will also release a scarcity and survival mindset. Maybe right now at this moment you're doing well in your life, you are earning good money for yourself, but maybe your childhood was spent in poverty and you're still holding on to the scarcity and survival mindset, because of which you're always afraid of losing money. We also let go a lot of people pleasing and over giving. How many of you have a habit of oversharing and people pleasing? I always had that. Trust me, half of my life I spent being very quiet, very kind, and the sweetest angel to people who really did not value my presence, really did not value what I was for them. And then one moment I realized that, I'm not being respected, I'm not being loved, I'm not being seen and heard by these people. And I decided to step out. I decided to step out of those circles. I decided to step out of those places. And then I created space for the people who value me and love me more. So today, there are people who really value me, who support my mission, who support my work, who support my life, and who are not here to just take everything from me, but also to make sure that everything is balanced, right? So, people pleasing and low self esteem is something a lot of our generation, women born in 1980s, some men too, we are carrying it. And I would say that, we can just, what if we could let go excessive people pleasing, excessive over giving, excessive oversharing? Yes, we do overshare a lot too, because probably that was what we thought was being kind or being nice. We will also be releasing the fear of being seen. How many of us believe that we have fear of being seen? I know if you start a business and in the moment I tell you that, start going out and telling your people about business, people are scared. The fear of being seen is also connected to the fear of judgment. And I see both of this is what we call as the fear of your own power, the fear of success. For the longest time, I had fear of success. I've been still working on it. Fear of success, what is it? Fear of failure, to sab jante hai. What is fear of success? Fear of success is you're afraid that if you are very successful, something bad might happen. I know a lot of people tell me that, especially women, that I fear that if I'm successful, my husband and children will stop loving me, or I will become a bad mother if I'm successful. This is something which is so deeply ingrained in us. But I always tell people that it is because we have created an either or universe. We feel that I can either be a good mother or a good businesswoman. I can be either a good wife or a good career woman. What if you could have both? And what if the whole aim of this life is to have everything, to have everything together for you, creating that magic for you? So, what if you are meant to live in your own power and have success? All these limiting beliefs, yes, we can let go. 12/12 is also about is releasing the emotional clutter, the mental tiredness, fatigue, and exhaustion, and any kind of spiritual stagnation. Also, know when you're letting go, you're not losing anything, my friend. You are just taking back your power and taking parts of yourself which really meant to you. Now, the last thing which many of you will ask is, but why, Ashwini, why this window ends on 31st December? This is because December 31st marks a closure of a timeline, right? The calendar which we all follow. Okay. And it is also the sealing of releasing of karmic contracts, integration of entire year's lessons, and a final energetic checkpoint before rebirth. So, whatever you take into January will amplify. So, imagine, will you want to carry the grief of the last year? Do you want to carry the resentment of the last year? Do you want to carry the self doubt? Do you want to carry exhaustion? I'm sure the answer is no. But instead, you want to create a life where you have clarity, there is lightness, there is emotional freedom, there is energetic space, there is confidence, there is peace, and there is alignment. And that is what this portal is opening up for you. And this is exactly why 12/12 is such an important date. You see, we were in this year of 9, 2025, total was 9. 9 is all about closure. 9 is about ending cycles. It's the highest number. If you see from 1 to 9, the highest number is 9. Very powerful number of Mars, number of, closure. Number 9 is also the number of spiritual philanthropy and, making the world a better place. We are closing that year and we are stepping into 2026. The number is 1 and 1 stands for sun. Sun is all about new beginnings. If you see in the tarot card sun, it's all about new beginnings and going into sunshine. So I am exactly created a workshop for all of this, for all of you, because I will be guiding you through deep emotional clearing, through some kind of reprogramming. We are going to do a lot of energetic releasing practices. Very simple practice I will be teaching you, which you can do right from 12th to 31st December. And it will also help you to cut cords and detach from the old year. And I always say that no spiritual bypassing, only going through the deep healing process. So we will get into forgiveness, we will get into healing. We will also do a subconscious reprogramming, and eventually this workshop is about resetting you at a quantum level. This is not just a meditation, it's inner liberation. What will this workshop do for you? You will end up feeling emotionally lighter. You will breathe more freely. You will detach without guilt. You will think more clearly. You will stop looping on old memories. You will feel safer inside your body and you will reclaim energy you gave away. Also, you can strengthen your boundaries. You can reset your subconscious, and you can enter the new year unburdened. Isn't that beautiful? So, my friends, you are not broken. You are just carrying too much. Time to let go. Now, you will ask me, Ashwini, I have no background in spirituality. I have not learned Reiki. I have never done these kind of things. My husband doesn't believe in these kind of things. Who can join this? This workshop is for anyone and everyone. If you're feeling emotionally tired, if you keep repeating the same patterns again and again, if you struggle with detachment, if you overthink constantly, if you are sensitive to energy, if you feel you are entering a new phase of your job or career or going into a new home, if you just are in a new relationship, or if you are letting go of an old relationship and if you want to invite a new one into your life, if you want to feel lighter, calmer, and more peaceful, and most important, if you don't want to drag this year's pain into next one, this workshop is for you. Please know that this portal doesn't last forever. So now is the time to act. The energy opens right now, today, and it closes on December 31st. And when it closes, life moves forward. This is your moment to choose, my friends. Will you enter the new year with the same emotional weight or with a renewed nervous system, with a clearer heart, with a grounded mind, with a lighter soul? So if your body is saying yes, if watching this video is making you feel, wow, I want to do it, and you have a feeling that, but how will I do it? It's a working day. I don't know. So you can just join the workshop and you can do the workshop anytime because you will be given access to the videos. If your heart feels heavy, If your soul is tired of carrying what it has outgrown, this workshop is your release container. You don't need to struggle alone anymore. You don't need to be strong anymore. You don't need to hold it anymore. It is finally safe for you to let it go. So allow yourself to let go and allow yourself to step into the new year with lots of joy. I look forward seeing you in the workshop, and I'm looking forward to see you change your reality. Also understand that you will have lifetime access to the videos, so you can watch it whenever you want. And there are no prerequisites for this. What will the workshop contain? It's a lot of clearing and it's a lot of bringing in new energy. I look forward to see you. Join in then. And if you are interested, DM me or join the write to my team, and you can definitely join in very soon. Bye bye.